how do you feel about the fan base fear of getting a first-time coach when two other options were recent first-time coaches, Nurse and Udoka?
How do you feel about the fan base fear of getting? I think it's just it gives us something to talk about, and I think it's because we don't know really what these roles are for these guys when they're an assistant coach on these teams. A little fear does creep in because again, you just don't know. Like, what are they bringing to the team? Why are they important sitting on the bench? How do the players feel about it? We don't get that information out. But when it comes to guys like Nick Nurse and Emi Udoka, it is we can see their results. We can see how they're progressing as head coaches on the bench. We just can't see that from assistants. So I think the fear it can be a little overblown at times, but I do think it's fair. But I think you could bring in an experienced coach like Dwayne Casey was, and he didn't have any success, with the Detroit Pistons in the current roster. So it's just I think that I really like I said, the fear can be overblown, but I think it's fair when it comes to inexperienced coaches because man, it's been such a long time since we've had like a really solid foundation of winning basketball in Detroit. So I think the fear is fair, man.
Yeah, I think it's warranted. I think that like you said, how do we feel personally? I'm okay with giving an assistant coach an opportunity because I don't really expect this team to jump up to 50 wins overnight. And I know it's a process and it's going to take time. I think if you want to go and get a Charles Lee or a Chris Quinn or a Kevin Ollie or whatever, I mean, go for it. I mean, you won 17 games. Maybe you can take that 13 or 23 game jump.
I knew that was coming. I knew it was coming.
Maybe you can take that jump. Maybe instead of 17 wins, you have 35 next year. That'd be a big jump. I think if you look at it from that standpoint, that Pistons probably aren't going to win a championship next year. They could sneak into the play-in if they do get the coaching right, and they attack free agency, and adding 3-and-D wings and getting them more depth off the bench. Then yeah, I mean you would feel more comfortable with the younger coach. You don't really need a household name that's probably going to cost Tom Gora's anywhere from like $6 to $8 million just to even have them come to Detroit. So, I mean, you kind of have to look at it from that standpoint, too. You're probably not going to have to pay these assistants as much.
Yep.